Hey people, Intrid here, 2v2, Median Jungle Mines, blue team. Red Crown is a Ravener Alpha. A tunneling hero, great to mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon. It's going to pop up in a second. It's going to be amazing. Looks like it's going to be near the natural power. There he goes. Alongside them, Captain Proton is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield and manipulation and control. Red team, some Space Marine fellas. Old Smithy with a Techmarine starts off in ranged combat with a bolt gun, can support with structures and repair. Looks like we got the Black Templars elite scheme here alongside KhornBite as a force commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. Looks like some Raven Guard elite scheme action, pretty cool. They're in the north against the Chaos fellas, and it's Ravener Alpha versus Techmarine in the south. Bunch of bolt guns here for the Ravener Alpha to deal with. Looks like they were trying to shoot the scouts on the scouts left, and they are returning. Are they going to get shotguns up, I wonder? You'd expect them to, I think. In both cases, I think. Double CSM for Captain Proton. Double Termagants for Red Crown. Here come the Hormagaunts. Some fellows over here. Termagants looking for a flank, maybe. Hormagaunts taking a bunch of damage trying to get in. Did get a model off the scouts, though. Hormagaunts will need to run soon. Here come Termagants from the side. And without cover, they are also going to need to run pretty quickly. All these bolt guns are going to turn and fire upon them. Scouts with shotguns. They're going for the central VP, looks like. And these guys will take the south, having mopped up the Tyranids. Meanwhile, natural power decapped by the force commander. Here's the double CSM. Did KhornBite get shotguns? They did. So the double CSM will be very good at shooting down those scouts before they can close the distance to use those shotguns. So they may need to use the force commander aggressively, maybe with armor of alacrity, to try and get in on the double CSM, draw some fire, maybe disrupt them. And then the shotgun scouts could close in for a shotgun blast and maybe a grenade even if they get their sergeant. Heretics could mess with that, of course, by just suppressing the force commander using their Doom Blast. But we'll see how that plays out. Old Smithy with some Devastators on the way. They'll have a heavy bolter. Scout shotgun. Looking for the blast, I think, but they can get shot up quite badly here by Toxin Sack Termagants. Backing off the scouts there, Old Smithy. Smart play, staying out of range of those Termagants. Gets a shotgun blast. I don't think they got a model. Oh, the Hormagaunts they are missing a model. But it might be a full power bash. Maybe not. Here's the heavy bolter. Looks like it's maybe just in range of that Ravener Alpha. Oh, maybe not. We need some vision, I think. There we go. Ravener Brood on the way now for Red Crown. Assault Squad for KhornBite. Any Eternal Wars? No. Where's your power gone then, Mr. Captain Proton? I don't know. Guess you just haven't spent any yet. Scouts trying to be aggressive. If the CSM both get Eternal War, they'll shoot down those scouts so quickly. Haven't dropped a model yet, and they killed a CSM model. Force Commander in on the other squad. That was a good fight for KhornBite so far. Kraken Bolts on the Tactical Marines helping out as well, with 20% more damage to heavy infantry armor, which is what Chaos Space Marines are, and Marines in general, for the most part, are all heavy infantry armor. Scouts run away, having dropped a model there. Battle Crying Force Commander with a Power Sword on the way. Nice weapon. Only 20 power, I think, is it? Couldn't quite catch it there. Gives you some power melee damage and makes your Battle Cry even better. 448 to 425. I hear Tyranids dying or something. There's the Ravener Brood with a Burrow Strike to disrupt the Devastators, forcing some melee combat there. You can get a specialized melee upgrade for the Ravener Brood, which is quite fun, which we may see to punish those Devastators even more. Oh, double Devastators for Old Smithy, but they lost their scouts along the way. Their scouts got shot up. We can see them around that power gen, actually. They were using them quite well before, but the extra micro load with the Devastators perhaps led to a loss there. Ravener Alpha gets away. All gens down. Couldn't get the decap, but it was a full bash by Red Crown. They don't want to push it, it looks like. They have all of these southern points, as you can see. Contested wreck point is blue. They have a tunnel there as well, and a tunnel over here. There's the Burrow Strike again. Hormagaunts maybe went in a little bit soon. If they didn't know there were 2 devs before, they certainly do now. Hormagaunts run. If they timed that slightly differently, maybe they could have Burrow Struck before the Hormagaunts got too close and took so much damage, but it's a tough thing to judge. Up in the north, Tactical Marines are shooting at gens, and there's the assault squad. They're going to be looking to jump the double CSM. Double CSM, which both have Eternal War now. So they could just all pile into melee on the assault squad. Throw your heretics in, throw your double CSM in melee, and those assault squad fellas will go down relatively quickly, I think. Oh, there's 40 Emperor on the scouts. Look at that. Nice usage of that global. The Force Commander, of course, changes that fight quite a lot. If you're piling all of your stuff into melee with the assault squad, this guy with the power sword can go in and battle cry and disrupt a lot of things. There's also the shotgun blast, of course. Does the Sorcerer have Sword of Flame? No. Might be worth getting for Coruscating Flame, make those heretics a bit more dangerous, maybe. Might need to be a bit more aggressive with those guys. Keep things off the CSM kind of thing. Devs are not moving up the south. Old Smithy, very wary of moving up without shotguns, I guess. They could get master-crafted bolt guns to help them control things. But I think it's 30 power, isn't it? Tier 2s all round. Did the Ravener Brood get the melee upgrade? No. CSM up in the north, decapping the VP. Termagants decapping central VP. And now we have a shooty fight. Ravener Brood dropping a model though. Heavy cover for the attacks, but they're quite low. Looks like they survive for now. Devastator's moving up. Oh, Techmarine levels the 2. Why? Oh, I think one of the Hormagaunts died. They must have damaged it earlier. Are they going to Burrow Strike? They are. Now these devs can cover the other devs and punish those Raveners. I was going to say Zone Throat perhaps from Red Crown, and it's already on the way. Can punish those Devastators from range. Razorback on the way for old Smithy. Meanwhile, KhornBite making a push on the power. Natural power for blue team in the northwestish. And they might get all the gens again. There's the Force Commander. He's busy taking their natural victory point back. The Sorcerer, meanwhile. Oh, with Robes of Torment. That's one way to mess with the assault squad. Also, Rod of Warpfire. Shooting the Force Commander with Chaos Warp Lightning. What is it again? 35 pigs in DPS. It's not bad. It's more than the default Techmarine's bolt gun. Plasma attacks now. And some Mark of Zinc CSM. Lots of anti-heavy infantry damage. But it might be worth grabbing Mark of Khorne on the other guys because of this. Punish those Assault Marines for jumping. I don't think they've done that enough. I mean, they have the Heretics. Heretics might wipe here. They could have got Sword of Flame for Coruscating Flame. Could get Mark of Khorne now. The Assault Squad barely gets away with 2 models. Both the CSM drop to model as well. They have noted their power though. Force Commander taking shots from double Termagants. And a Zone Throat, there's a Burrow Strike. Grenade. It's a good grenade. Force Commander runs. Soaked up a lot of damage there though, eh? Here's Tax with the Sergeant for old Smithy. Where's the Razorback up to? Taking damage. There is a Venom Brood up with anti-vehicle Venom cannons. And ranged Synapse, which will buff the Ravener Brood because they don't have their melee upgrade. And it will buff the double Termagants as well. If they're close enough, that is. Nothing for the Ravener Alpha yet. Corrosive Devourer, very worth getting, I think. Just for that sheer amount of damage it pumps out. It is quite expensive, though. Meanwhile, Pack's trying to cap the mid, and they got wrecked by Doom Bolts and double Mark of Zinch Chaos Space Marines. with the Aspiring Champions coming in for those demonic plasma guns, huge amounts of Inferno PvP damage now, which is really bad news for enemy Marines. Need to try and keep these guys separated so they both don't get jumped by the assault squad though. And now Librarians on the field, and that smite hurts more than you might think. They can get good smite on the double CSM, then jump an assault squad in there. Worth getting teleporter? Oh no, goes for Iron Halo. Guess that's one way to get into the back line, just tank it. Techmarine falls over. I think that's a zone throat. Warp blast. Outranging those devs who jump inside the Razorback. That's a good use of warp fire. That really messed up those tacks over there. Gets the plasma gun off the field. There's the jump though. Chains of Torment to respond. CSM trying to create some space and get some hits. And here come a bunch of Tyranids. If they can use that Chains of Torment well, I mean, that might be all they need. Might be all they need. Depends on if they can catch the Force Commander in it. Oh hey, Razorback down. Focus Warp Blast got it, I think. Bad 60 seconds or so for the red team. They got some Stone Guard veterans here, thanks to old Smithy. Devastator's white. Oh, Catalyst was up on these Ravener Brood. That is a global buff from the Ravener Alpha, doubling their damage, but meaning they lose health over time for the duration. Is super powerful, especially if you can catch things in retreat in melee. Let's try, says KhornBite. I think old Smithy maybe wanted to concede after that passage of play there. KhornBite says let's fight on, like a Force Commander would say. Level 3. Got that Iron Halo and Artificer, so it's going to be quite tanky. Needs to get some energy back though to power the Iron Halo. And it's a Whirlwind for old Smithy. I'm always wary of getting Whirlwinds up when you are kind of behind in field presence. The Whirlwind misses like a couple of shots in a row. That really messes your fight up. Heretics 8, a Merciless Strike there. Really good Merciless Strike. But a Chains of Torment got them again. KhornBite needs to be much more diligent about shooting that central mass, I think. They just called in some more attacks. There's Warp Fire doing some work. And a bunch of flanking Tyranids. Meanwhile, old Smithy is capping up some points though, I think. Capping the mid and getting that contested wreck point off the south. I call it contested. I think it's very, very slightly natural. But it's pretty damn contested, I think. Force Commander goes down. Tyranid is looking dangerous and mobile. And I see purple, which means the Synapse Aura for damage is in. I love that we have this purple Synapse effect now. 321 to 209. Tier 3 for old Smithy. Whirlwind. That's a good shot. Lots of very good disruption. Focus Warp Blast on the devs. Stone Guard using their Hellfire rounds to do damage over time. Because most of this stuff is light infantry. Might be worth loading in some Kraken Bolts though and going after that Venom Brood to get some Synapse Backlash in. And it might be that they're trying to target the Zone Probe actually. Whirlwind needs to be still to fire. And it does fire quite slowly as well. Venom Brood will make short work of it if they can get close. It's only got 400 hit points. Meanwhile, KhornBite runs away. Double mark of Zinc CSM starting to feel dangerous because KhornBite can't get close to them consistently. Assault Squad are getting countered hard by the Chains of Torment. Needs to shoot down that central mass. And I think Teleporter for the Force Commander would have been better, but we'll see how that Iron Halo does. Scouts take back the natural VP. I mean, it's a double cap for red, and they're not that far behind in VPs. And we know how Space Marines can come into their stride late game super effectively. And old Smithy is tier 3. And they have a bunch of red. So they could see Terminators quite soon, actually. They could drop a Venerable Dreadnought in. It might actually be super effective. There's only really the Venom Brood that would threaten it. CSM got messed up there. And there's Veil of Time on the Force Commander. That's a good piece of play there by the red team. Able to push them off the mid and cap the mid. Captain Proton got nothing up in tier 2, eh? There's a risk going straight to tier 3 like that. We'll see if it pays off. They could get their own Chaos Terminators relatively soonish. 243 to 209, 1-to-1 cap on the VPs. Carnifex on the way for Red Crown. There's tier 3 for KhornBite. What is Smithy going to do? Their next purchase, very important. Tank would be good, especially when they see that Carnifex. Maybe they can las cannon it down with a tank. But that thing, of course, could get a Venom Cannon as well. Tyranids going for the mid now. Techmarine is there with Artificer. Burrow Strike. A very slow, weird Burrow Strike. Into an odd spot, actually. Right in the face of Heavy Bolter. Oh, Catalyst on the Venom Brew trying to get the Whirlwind down. Nice idea, didn't quite pay off. And they may die. I think they're alright. Here comes a Carnifex with Stranglethorn Cannon. Whirlwind needs to be careful because that thing will destroy vehicles. Whirlwind does have the Hunter-Killer Missile on the front, of course. Meanwhile, power decapped by KhornBite, and we see some Chaos Terminators here with their Combi Bolters and Power Fists. Force Commander with the Iron Halo up, able to tank this stuff super effectively. Everything else is gone, though. And now they must also run. Terminators will be capping. They should destroy this drop pod because I think they can reinforce off that if it's close enough. Blue team taking the mid back, 232, 197. And old Smithy does go for a Predator tank. Probably with the las cannon to try and target the Carnifex. Speaking of las cannon, these guys also have one. And that shot did not aim for the Carnifex for some reason. Maybe it just wasn't in range. And there's a melter gun for the Techmarine too. Las cannon runs. Here comes the tank. Starts with an autocannon, getting extra armor first. They may leave the autocannon on, I guess. It's not a bad weapon. It's a bit more generalist. It'll hit infantry quite consistently. And it has an area of effect. Chains of Torment deals with the assault squad again. Tank getting some shots, and I'm not sure if the... I don't think the Hunter-Killer Missile's gone off. Do you need an upgrade for that? Heretics chasing off a bunch of Marines. There's a double Markles each, guys. And an autocannon now for the Chaos Terminators. 232, 157. Venom Brood again tried the Catalyst move to try and get a vehicle down. Oh, KhornBite has a tank as well. I thought at least one of them were going to get Terminators. I guess not. Or not yet. Although KhornBite didn't quite have the red for it anyway. Might be worth throwing for the Emperor on these allied Devastators if they get sights on the Carnifex to buff that damage. Not sure if Artificer is really paid for itself. I mean, it's made the Techmarine tougher, so it might have meant they could stay in fights a lot more often than they would have otherwise. Completely stole this power here with full gens on it. Getting more than 1 power a second now, the red team. But it will be taken back by the blues. Librarian runs in on the VP. He's got his fancy staff now for the force barrier, and that could be a big deal in the mid. Tactical Marines. Did they just lose their sergeant? Yeah. That beaky helm sergeant went down. Focus Warp Blast knocks the Librarian off the cap. Plasma Devs on the way now for old Smithy. Here's that tank. They have kept the autocannon for now. That shot didn't seem to hit anything, that second one there. Double Carnifexes for Red Crown now. What level are these CSM at? Level 2s, level 3 Sorcerer, level 3 Ravener Alpha. What happened? Oh, I think the Barb Strangler hit a mine, maybe. Plasma Cannon. Oh, I didn't see anything. Marco Zinch guys tearing up those tacks, infiltrated by the heretics there. They will be revealed while they are firing, of course. Assault Squad jumping in. Heretics meet them. And they're taking huge amounts of damage now. Can they get the heretics? They can. Heretics down. Scouts creating a distraction, trying to bash that node. That's pretty good use of those scouts, actually. That's a cannon. Good hit. Bioplasma. Almost got that whirlwind down. Almost. Venom Cannon Carnifex here. Really bad news for Space Marine vehicles. That tank is getting torn up. Melter Gun Techmarine now doing some work, eh? No orbs of the Omnissiah might be helpful here because they are bunching up a bit, these Carnifexes. I know they're not vehicles, but it does like scramble their brains, I guess, or something. Tank? What's the tank doing? The tank needs to stay the hell away. And they need to use their global repair, Blessing of the Omnissiah, surely. What is this tank doing? Tank goes down. Big mistake from old Smithy. That thing needed to stay the heck back. And they really should be using the global repair as well, because there's 3 vehicles on the field that need repairing. And they have tons of red. Trying to get this Carnifex, and they got it. Carnifex has been got. Well played. Maybe could have tried to go after the other one, but it was getting shot at by a bunch of stuff. It's not terribly mobile, the old Techmarine. Stern Guard need another model. Oh, got some Terminators in. Going straight for the VP. And immediately, Tome of Subjugation on the way. These guys could be in real trouble because they haven't used their teleport. So there it is. Teleport gets them into trouble. Now subjugated and controlled by the Sorcerer. And here we go. They're going to open up with double Markov Zinch, Chains of Torment as if they needed it. And those Terminators are down. That Sorcerer for you. 232 to 67. That might be the nail in the coffin for the Red Space Marine team. Going to be tough for old Smithy to have a big impact in these fights now. But KhornBite has a lot of units. Not over yet. There's a Torniform. Global nuke for the Tyranids. These spires come up and damage you and knock you about, and it buffs nearby Tyranids a lot as well. The tank made it out. Whirlwind is still up, not getting any repairs. Old Smithy is getting some scouts going though. Double plasma attacks for the Emperor on one of them, but they're getting very low. We're doing some really good damage there though, eh? Terminator is able to teleport out without dropping a model, but it needs some repairs. Repairs? Some healing. I'm sure their armor got dinged up a bit too, but no repairs for their armor. KhornBite with some scouts of their own to help repair things. Still no Blessing of the Omnissiah being used by old Smithy. They're dropping some mines though. The mines will be spotted by the Venom Brood. Also by the aspiring champion Heretic fella. 226 to 59, 2-1 cap for red. I mean, they recovered. Stabilized a bit. Despite that Terminator loss. I thought that was it for them. These guys are becoming Vanguard veterans. Questionable if that's worth it. They're level 3. And I mean, they don't have the Melter Bomb, but they now cannot get the Melter Bomb. They had 2,000. Yeah, they're 2,000 hit points these days. At level 1, so I guess that's pretty good. And it will help punish the CSM more with those power weapons, but I'm not sure if that was worth it. I guess it wasn't a huge expense to upgrade them. Aha! Corrosive Devourer now in for the Ravener Alpha. I think there it is. Terrifying weapon. Genuinely scary. Level 5. And they can pop their corrosive shots and start shooting the tank. Tank is not going to get away, I don't think. Catalyst on the Venom Brood. Tank made it out. The tank made it out, and there's an orbital. Venom Brood, I think, are going to wipe. Caught in one of the beams, another orbital. And they're spreading the beams as you should do. Almost got those double CSM there. So Venom Brood wiped. Red team still have the mid for now. Whirlwind did get repaired. Old Smithy with another tank on the way. This is a bad place to be, fellas. Yeah, run away. Vanguard Veterans got their Power Fist. It's not the best Power Fist ever, it's only 50 DPS, but it helps. Helps take out those vehicles, put pressure on them. Maybe that's why they got the Vanguard Veterans, to help put a bit more pressure on the Carnifexes consistently in melee. Melter Gun Techmarine doing some work. Level 5, it's a lot of damage. Needs to run now though. For the Emperor on those tacks with the plasma gun. Shredding through stuff. Lots of usage of that for the Emperor. Here's a tier 3 Lictor. Stone Guard. What are they up to? Oh, they got Vengeance rounds loaded in. They're trying to get the Carnifex, I think. Meanwhile, Sneaky Termagant is trying to do stuff. Oh hey, more Chaos Terminators for Captain Proton, I didn't realise. 162 to 59. 100 VPs or so in it then. Uh-oh. Friendly fire plasma cannon. These guys might need to run. There we go. The Whirlwind saved them. And they turn to fight. This is so risky. Okay, now they run. They have a las cannon predator. Can they chase down the Carnifex? They probably can't see it. Don't have the vision with that we have. Anyone going to cap the mid? Maybe the scouts. They're going for it. Maybe a bit more pressure on the north by Red Crown. Sorry, by Captain Proton needed. Both these heroes down. It's a big deal. We don't have any heroes in the fights. Old Smithy, can you get a revive? They could. But they're capping Southern VP right now. Was that? I think Red Crown was questioning the second Terminator purchase because of Vanguard Veterans and stuff, and the plasmas and the tanks. And there's some Zinchian worship. Carnifex on the way, number 3 overall. Looks like they are not getting claws for their Terminators. Techmarine caps and defends the VP in the south. Triple now for red. Stone Guard here with Hellfire rounds. Mid is still red too. Did you guys teleport in? Vanguard Veterans. Oh, they're getting demoralized because of the Terminators getting kills. Where's the 40 Emperor? Did not see a 40 Emperor there. And they should have no fear up though for these tacks. Can they get a decap? Plasma Cannon does not say no. Meanwhile, the south is still red. Tier 3 Lictor runs away. That is a Stranglethorn, which, as previously said, can threaten the tank, but not as threatening as a Venom Cannon. And this thing does have las cannons too. So it's going after it. Here comes another Carnifex, which is getting a Venom Cannon. Predator questions its own choices. Time to reverse. Still a red VP though. 2-1 cap, 27.59. It's so close. And I thought it was all over for red when they dropped those Terminators. Shows what I know. Should never be listened to. This tank may go down. Bioplasma gets it. Nice hit. Is the other tank going to go down? There's double autocannons there. Circle of Summoning, spawning some bloodletters too. Tank does go down. 13 to 59. Red team reeling after those fights, but is it enough? Have they done enough? Blue team get a natural back, but it's still a 2-1. I think red team have, you know. Bad game, says Red Crown. There's the 2-1. Red team get it. Pretty fun ending, I think. Ravener Alpha was level 5. A level 3 Chaos Sorcerer down at the end. A level 6 Techmarine, that melter gun was awesome. And a level 5 Force Commander was down for a while, I think. But on the winning team, there you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.